Welcome. Just say like the Camp 218. It's your boy Chucky.
And your boy Spider-Man.
What it do? Welcome back to the Halloween version of Say Like a Champ. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Strizzy. What's up, dog?
What's good, fam? So we in the building. We got, you know what I'm saying? We had to start it off with our costumes. We're getting ready for the holiday spirit, and of course we're doing this a little bit early so that we can go have fun with the kiddos and make sure that everybody in the neighborhood gets their treats so that we don't get our houses you know what I'm saying, our houses so that's what it is. But Strizzy, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's been a real productive day, actually, working wise. I got a lot of stuff done, a couple of errands I needed to run, got that stuff done too, so it's been cool. What about you?
Same, man. A productive day, a busy day. I feel like the day is flying by, but I'm glad that we're getting together on this day, and we can get this knocked out, and then we can go have some, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of fun later tonight. So definitely, yeah, always a good day when we're keeping it moving the way we are. I want to welcome in Pops. He's in the building. He says good afternoon and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We appreciate you rocking with us, and we also got Kello from Texas. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you being with us. So so like we said, it is kind of a holiday edition, so we are going to have a little bit of a SLAC Express. We definitely have some things that we want to talk about together this week, and then we will get out on our merry way. So while we're doing that, though, please keep the comments coming, the engagement, the likes. It really means a lot to us, and it helps the show reach more people. So you guys can do that. You always do that, and we always appreciate y'all doing that. Also, let us know what your if you're dressing up this year, what you're being for Halloween, or maybe what your favorite Halloween costume was through the years. If you don't do the dress up no more, I would love to hear about it. So
or some of the cooler costumes that you've seen. Like I've been seeing some pretty thoughtful Halloween costume this year. Like I saw one dressed up as the like a meme from like Instagram.
That's what's up.
It was pretty dope. I've seen some pretty cool ones that I would have never thought about. So I love it when they get creative.
Absolutely, I'm the same way. I think it's so funny when when there's like creative costumes, when there's good costumes. We did a little trunk or treat for the community this weekend, and this little boy was the corn man, the paleta man, and he had the cart and everything. It lit up, and then he opened up the box for you to put the candy in. So that was super dope. So yeah, that's the same. Like if you guys have seen any creative ones, share it with us. Let us know. But until then, we're gonna go ahead and keep this thing moving. Let's go ahead and get into our first topic of the night. What's up next?
Let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tuned to NFL Talk.
Let's get it. All right, and of course I didn't share the screen yet. My bad, y'all. Let me fire up the graphics so we can see that Halloween thumbnail. And let's get into it. NFL Talk. We're gonna go straight to the scoreboard. Kind of talk as we always do. Our big surprises of the weekend. What games stood out the most to us. What score lines were the most intriguing. And let's start off right off the bat with Strizzy. Your Panthers, man. You called your shot. You said this was the weekend. Bryce Young did his thing. What was your thoughts on the Panthers win?
Just glad to finally not, to have at least a win on there, and not going into the week, 0-7, you know what I mean? But still a ton to build on, right? Like it's still 15-13. The Texans they have a great defensive-minded head coach. So even though the score is really low, you look at it like it could have been worse, you know what I mean? The Texans are a lot better than they've been in recent years. So definitely just glad to get the dub. But still, like I said, a lot to build on. I'm glad that we looked a little bit better on offense. Bryce Young had no turnovers. I thought was a positive. And hopefully it continues, man. I know Coach Reich said that he was able to manage the game a little bit more without having to worry about the offensive play calling, which everyone's been trying to tell him that since like week 3, you know what I'm saying? Like hand it over. But yeah, I don't know, for some reason I felt like if they were gonna get a win anytime soon, like this was it. You know what I mean? This was definitely it.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I'm definitely glad y'all can avoid that Cleveland Browns territory. You know what I'm saying? That 0-17. Seriously. Actually, I guess there's never been a team to go 0-17, right?
They were 0-16.
Yeah, that's true. So now that this schedule is expanded, I don't know if there's going to be a first team to do that, but I'm glad y'all are out of that mix. You know what I'm saying? No threat there. And I agree, like with Rick coming back right off the play calling. I think that helps him be more of a game, like manage the game situations when there are close games and he needs to be paying attention instead of worrying about the next play calls. And his play calls weren't working out that great. It's not like they had a prolific offense. Right. And then it's like, and then he missed a couple of things. Like, no, it's like it wasn't working anyway. So, so no, that's what's up. I definitely was glad for that one. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys did their thing again.
Yeah, they came through after their bye week for sure.
Yeah, they were ready. And I like that. The second win in a row against LA teams. Sorry, moms, the Rams is her team, but we had to take them out. But it really goes to show, I think, again, like when the Cowboys play all three phases well, complementary, when they get a lead and when they can let that defense go, it's a totally different ball game, But if they're down 7, if they're down multiple scores, it's a whole different game. So that was cool to see.
Man, I feel like when the defensive line is getting pressure, man, and they're getting to the quarterback, it just makes everything easier. It's like you can almost say like the only real weakness of the defense might be the DBs. You know what I mean? Like if the defensive lines get to the quarterback, then they're able to shine. You know what I mean? And defense came through. Special teams definitely came through. Like you said, when they can get good leads, that they don't have to worry so much on offense, right? Dak doesn't have to feel like he's got to play hero ball. Like everything just flows, man. And it showed because I feel like the Rams they're not the Super Bowl team that they were a couple years ago, but they're definitely better than they were last year, and y'all smacked them. So I think that was a really, really good win, especially coming off the bye week.
I agree, and that builds in nicely to the matchup against the Eagles next weekend, Sunday afternoon. That's going to be a very big game, Cowboys-Eagles. So looking forward to that one for sure. Let's see. The Battle of New York was lackluster. The Giants had a lead till late, but they kind of blew it at the end. The Jets came back and got that dub. The Titans came through for me, man. I don't know why they had a bad record, but they were playing good football, kind of. But it's interesting, man. Will Levis, he was doing his thing, and it's like the Coach Vrabel doesn't even like him, doesn't even want to see him succeed. He's been playing only with the practice squad up until this week. He starts with the starters, and they get a victory. So maybe
4 touchdowns, dog. 3 of them to Hop. Like that's big time. Like you got to ride the hot hand.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, if he doesn't get the start the rest of the year, basically, like, I don't know. But I still feel like they're going to be talking about Tannehill in a week or two. Oh, he's feeling better. But I just feel like you got the future there potentially, or at least a glimpse at it. Like, let's just go for it,
You've drafted 2 quarterbacks in the last 2 years. Like, obviously, Tannehill's not who you're thinking is your future, dog. Like,
right.
You might as well go with the kid. Like, he had a crazy game. He made DeAndre Hopkins look relevant again. You know what I'm saying? So keep it going.
Keep it going. Yeah, for sure. The Saints, man, after I was talking a lot of mess about them, they had a really good offensive performance against the Colts.
Right.
Those are 2 kind of middle of the pack teams, but I just feel like that was a good matchup. But the Saints really did their thing. Maybe they'll be able to build on that a little bit. Bengals. I mentioned them. He said the Panthers came through. He also said Burrow is a beast and Bengals are dangerous.
Yep.
That's for sure, man. It looks like when they came back from that bye week did him wonders, Burrow wonders, because he had no mobility issues. He was sacked multiple times, but he did not slow down. He still was moving in the pocket. And when he can do that and when he can connect with Chase, like they can put up points in a hurry.
Yeah, it's really funny, man. It's kind of funny. I'm glad we're talking about this game because I want to talk about both teams. Like, Bengals always start out slow. In Joe Burrow's era so far, like they always lose the first 2 games of the year. I mean, they're 1-7, you know what I'm saying, the last 4 years, you know what I'm saying, in the first 8 games or whatever. So not first 8 games, but the first 2 games for the last 4 years, right? And then they all of a sudden they turn things around and they look like one of the best teams in the league. So, you know what I mean? It's one of them things where it's like I think we all picked the Bengals to win this game. I don't think any of us picked the 49ers to win this game. I think we all knew that they were going to drop their 3rd game in this one. But kind of the same thing too with the 49ers is I'm also not like too concerned about them either because they'll figure it out, they'll fix it. They got a great coach. They got to get the defense back right. Defense has given up a lot of points these last couple of weeks. And I think too with Brock Purdy, he just got to stop. He got all that noise he's been hearing. He's the next next this, next that. But you got to drum that out. Like, stop trying to be the next Tom Brady. Stop listening to these dudes on TV, and just continue doing what got you here, right? In his first 20 games, kid's like 16-4, right? Like, don't worry about it. Got a bye week, get right, and 49ers are gonna be just fine. I still have them taking the NFC West.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they're in a division right now where they can afford a little bit of leeway, right? But definitely feeling different than they were after that beatdown against the Cowboys, and they were really smelling themselves. And lost 3 straight since then, so they definitely need to get back right. But I agree with Purdy. It's like hopefully they can drop some of the extra stuff, right? Because every time you see him, every broadcast, it's like, look, this guy is flawless. He came out of nowhere, Mr. Relevant. Like, eventually you can't have that be your whole career. Like, just let it go. Yep. Go out there and play your game and stop trying to worry about this whole, X amount of touchdowns. X, your record in the regular season. Like, just let that go and play football because nobody's perfect and you're going to get your lumps.
Exactly.
Just take them like every other pro and move on and learn from them. So I hope he does build and just get back to doing what you're doing. Keep it simple and just play your game.
That was you said it like perfectly right there. Learn from him, right? Like, nobody's perfect. Like, you're gonna and I think this is like the best thing that could happen to him, right? Like, these last 2 weeks, like, he hasn't had any games this bad. Like, he actually has kind of been perfect, right? Very minimal turnovers, 2 to 3 touchdowns a game. Like, he's played almost flawlessly. And I feel like these last 2 weeks have been kind of eye-opening and hopefully, eye-awakening for him to just be like, you know what? Like, all right, let me drop these shoulders a little bit. Like,
right.
Hopefully he feels like he doesn't have to continue playing. I mean, yeah, you want to play at a high level. I don't want to say don't have to play at that level, but
at that perfect level, at that like flawless level, like it doesn't happen.
Man. Like, get in there, talk to your coaches, talk to your quarterback coach, and with the more time off, maybe you get Trent Williams back at full health, and hopefully you get Deebo Samuel back soon, and they'll be able to roll. I think you mentioned this, but Christian McCaffrey talked about when he got to the 49ers last year, they were 3-4. They had a losing record. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they went on to win 9 straight. So they're going to be fine. You know what I mean? They're going to be perfectly fine. But I'm actually glad to see them drop this many games in a row because hopefully it humbles them a little bit and brings them back down to earth a little bit. Because you're right. I think after that Cowboys game, they were feeling themselves just a little too much.
They were like, we got this. It's too easy. And it's like the NFL is not easy, No. I think we keep seeing reminders of that. And this week's biggest reminder of that was the Chiefs going down to the Broncos 24-9.
Exactly. 9 points. 9 points.
That's crazy. They got held down like that. And, like we talk about, though, the NFL is hard week to week. You got to show up. You can't take anything for granted. Yep. So we'll see how this progresses. But I think this is one of those better years where everything is very even. I love it. Week to week, you never know what's going to happen. So
it's funny because, it's funny. I love I'm kind of mad Ant's not here because, we need him here to protect his Chiefs a little bit. But
right, we need
I've been talking about them, their offense for a while, and I feel like, they're top 6, top 7 in offense right now, but I feel like a big part of that is because, one, Andy Reid, and then you also have the best quarterback in possibly the history of the league, right, in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes. But I've just always felt like this offense without him would not be this good. You know what I mean? Like it's almost kind of tricky in a way, right? And I feel like
it's hard to gauge his impact.
Yeah, and I feel like this finally kind of showed. It's like if Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a Patrick Mahomes type game, this is what the Kansas City Chiefs look like.
They look more average, yeah.
So he doesn't have those, which is also why I was a little bit surprised. I actually really expected them to kind of go after somebody like DeAndre Hopkins or try to get somebody to kind of help Patrick Mahomes out because his receivers are just not very good right now.
Right, like Kelsey's his only receiver, and he's not a receiver. So
exactly, yeah. Mahomes needs a real number 1 receiver, and you never want. Same thing with I'm actually Lamar. Them playing really well too. He's got Zay Flowers finally, but you never want your number 1 receiver to be your tight end. You know what I'm saying? Like you just don't want it to be that. So they'll figure it out. Another team I'm definitely not worried about. In the long run, but I was actually surprised to see them not pick up
make a deal.
A top guy. I would have thought they would have gone after somebody, most definitely.
I feel you. And thank you, Mario, for the comment. We appreciate you. I think it might be a first-time commenter. So welcome to the show, Mario. We appreciate your contributions and definitely agree. He needs a real number 1 receiver that could do wonders for him, just make his life that much easier. They didn't get anybody at the trade deadline, but that's a good segue into the trade deadline and just kind of our injury and news updates. We want to start with Kirk Cousins, going down with the torn ACL. right when he was starting to figure things out this year and really peak and have one of his better years. I mean, he's been putting up stats all year, right? But they started off slow with the first three games. Now they're kind of coming along and they have a great chance at their division. But losing Kirk Cousins is big. So he's going down. They did make a move that we'll talk about. The other big move is the 49ers getting Chase Young. I did see that Unc mentioned that one. The 49ers a couple years ago, they started to do this, right, where they were like, hey, like they started to kind of go for that defensive line, right? And they had like all like top 10 draft picks on their defensive line. They're trying to get back like that and get that pass rush to really help with the 49ers defense, who has been struggling. So we'll see how that plays out. And a couple other ones that we've already mentioned in the comments here. Dobbs, man, the Cardinals, Murray's getting healthy. He's pretty much healthy. The Cardinals really did not abuse, but they used Dobbs, right? They signed him right before the beginning of the year. He's competitive. He plays well for them. He's like that stopgap. And then as soon as they don't need him, right out the door. But I think that the display that he was able to do for the Cardinals helped him too. And I do think that he's going to get a chance to play for the Vikings, and I do hope he plays well, like Pop said. So
definitely, I agree too. It kind of sucks. It feels like they kind of did him dirty. It's like you almost give him a shot because he probably wasn't going to really play with the Browns because Deshaun Watson didn't start the year hurt. You know what I mean? And then he actually played well with them. The Cardinals have actually been extremely competitive. You know what I mean? The wide receivers have been actually getting the ball. You know what I mean? They're not just a ground game only. And then like you said, they kind of used him, abused him, and then threw him off to the side a little bit. I was actually kind of hoping that Jameis Winston was going to get the trade to the Vikings, but I guess they couldn't get the job done. So here we are. So I hope he does really well too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And yeah, we will see if Murray comes back soon, healthy, to contribute for the Cardinals. I think he'll be back, probably not this week, but maybe after this week. So
yeah.
All right, that's what's up. Want to welcome moms to the show. Welcome, Mom. Thank you for joining us. And I do want to welcome too. We got one more member to the panel to add right quick. Let's see if he's ready. We got our brother Matt Marcus. What's good, Marcus?
What up?
What's going on, fellas? Sorry, man, I'm late, man. It's been
good,
it's Halloween, so
we know how it goes.
Oh yeah, no. For sure.
Hey, y'all good? Everything good on your side?
Everything is good over here, man. Yeah, we're just knocking this thing out early so we can go have some time with the kiddos and the trick-or-treaters tonight. For sure. So everything is lovely over here. And we appreciate you rocking with us. Any comments on the Dobbs trade? Did you see that trade today? What did you think about that? Because you're kind of a Cardinals insider, you know what I'm saying? You're close to it. Closest thing we got to it.
I know, right?
I was surprised by it because I guess they did it also because I guess I heard that Kyler is ready. It depends if he's on play this season because they weren't doing so well, but I think now that he might have to come on in, but I was surprised to die. I thought he's going to finish the season with them, but I guess the injury, the Vikings, they have a chance to get in the playoffs, so they're going to go for him. They have a good team. They just need a quarterback to do a little something. So I was very surprised by it, but it is what it is. So I think Kyler might play this year.
Yeah.
No,
for sure. And Unc asked that too. Yeah, is Kyler back? So he said he was ready, but I don't think he's going to be active this weekend, but I do think he is going to play. And we're thinking, he's probably trying to get out there so that he can cool down this Caleb Williams talk, and he can show that maybe he can stay with the Cardinals if he plays well the second half of the season. So we'll see how that goes. Couple other comments here. So it looks like Mario was recruited by Unc. That's what's up. Appreciate that, Unc. Unc says Mario is a delusional Cowboys fans. Well, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of us out there. You can't fault him, man. He's doing his best. So appreciate you, Mario, and welcome. Always glad to have another Cowboys fan, with the show. So that's what's up. Pops mentions about the Kansas City shows Mahomes' greatness, and the critics are clearly wrong that Kelsey is the real reason for Mahomes' success. Silliness. Yeah, most definitely. I think he's the biggest contributor right now because he's his most reliable receiver, but
for sure.
Definitely not the reason why.
I won't knock how great Kelsey is as a tight end, but to say he's the reason for Mahomes' success is crazy. He's not even consistent enough for me to say that's the reason why Mahomes is successful. That's crazy.
Yeah,
we all thought Tyreek Hill was, and we see when he left what happened. They won the ball, so that ain't true either. I think he's more like a Tom Brady. Tom Brady never had a Hall of Fame receiver. I don't count Randy Moss as a receiver for him because he's on there for 2 years. But he
Yeah.
never had a Hall of Fame receiver. So look what he did. So
Yeah.
I don't think Mahomes need a receiver to make him who he. I think whoever's around him, he's gonna make good.
Yep.
Definitely, yeah. No, that's a great point. And I'm kind of with you on that. Like Randy Moss definitely was his best receiver, but not like they grew together. It's not like they built together. He came there ready made. They balled out for a couple of years, so a little bit different situation there for sure.
Did Wes Welker make the Hall of Fame?
No.
Yeah, so that's the only one I think it would be close to it. But I could be wrong. He didn't have a Hall of Fame receiver, did he?
No, he didn't. I mean, not like who was the early guys like Branch or whatever. Like nobody, nobody like there with him. I guess it was only Gronk. He'll make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Gronk will make it, but that's
tight end again. So yeah. So
because Edelman's not gonna make it either.
No,
he only had like tight ends and running backs out the backfield. That was pretty much it.
But he never even had a Hall of Fame running back.
Yeah,
Corey Dillon, but Dillon not gonna make it. Like I say, he's a bingo. So
I was just about to say Corey Dillon was his closest thing, and that was like a few year rental too. So
yeah, for real.
He made a lot out of what he had around him for sure.
Yep.
All right, that's what's up though. We're gonna keep this thing moving because we are gonna crash out of here pretty quickly. But a couple more things to touch on. We definitely want to welcome you all back on Thursday for Secure the Bag. We make our picks, NFL picks every week live. And this week we got to celebrate Unc, who, aka Primetime, who won this week, 13-3 up there. So we got to picture with the Marcus. And I'm pretty sure that's why he was asking about it so early. But congratulations. We got a Super Bowl square coming your way. Great job. Great bounce back for everybody, though.
What was his three losses?
I think it was. Let me double check real quick.
It had to be the Chiefs. It had to be the Chiefs. It had to be the 49ers. And it was one more team that lost that shouldn't have lost this week.
Let me go back to the scoreboard real quick and we can see. What do you guys think, real quick, while I pull this up?
Trying to think.
So I know it was the Chiefs. Chiefs had to be one.
Yeah.
The 49ers had to be one too.
And Tennessee, Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it was the Chiefs and it was the Carolina, Houston.
Oh, that could have been one too.
That could have been
Houston. That's what it was. That's what it was. All right, so that's what's up. Great job there. He did call the Cincinnati too, so that's what's up. Great job.
That was crazy. I wouldn't have picked that one. That's wow.
I know 49ers dropped 3 in a row, but it's because they were high on the hog, man. They thought they had it all figured out. So that's what happens when you beat the Cowboys. Somebody else gonna beat you. No, that's what's up. And Pops agrees with Marcus. We got to call this out. Mahomes can throw the ball to anyone that gets open. And but yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. He can throw it to anyone who can get open, but his receivers have a hard time getting open. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I had one quick question. If y'all know it, I'll leave it alone. Is a trade over right now?
Yeah, the trade deadline is over now officially, so no more trades coming in.
So we ain't getting digged then, huh?
Yeah, I was like, man, I was hoping that Jerry Jones would pull the trigger on that. That would have been.
Do we do anybody or no? Nobody?
No trades for the Cowboys. So that would have been a game changer. Yeah, they would have. I do think the Cowboys do need a little bit extra running back help the rest of this year, or figure something out, because you can't so rely on the pass first, and we can't just use Tony Pollard as a hammer. So we got to figure that out.
Yeah.
But all right, let's keep this thing moving real quick. Definitely want to give a World Series update. We got the Rangers at the Diamondbacks. They're actually playing again tonight on Halloween, so that should be a very festive situation. But we got the Texas Rangers stealing game one, really, because they came back in the bottom of the ninth to score 2 to tie it, and then won it in the 10th. So that was a big chance for Arizona to go up.
No.
The Diamondbacks bounced back with a big win in game 2, 9-1. And then last night, the Rangers making it 2-1 with behind Corey Seager's big 2-run home run. So how you feel the rest of the series, though, Marcus? You think that's pretty much it for the Diamondbacks, or?
They have to win tonight. If they lose tonight, the series over. It's going to be hard to come back. It's not 2-3-2, is it? Is it still 3-2?
Yeah, it's 2-3-2. So they got the next two at home still. Okay. They need to change that.
Yeah. Well, I still think they got to win tonight. I think they got to win tonight because you're going to be going back. If you win the last game home, you got to go back to Texas. So
yeah,
I just feel I think they should have won that game one, man. You have to win game one to But I think that's going to kind of hurt him a little bit not winning that game one, especially when you should have won it.
Yeah,
but they have to
tough
win.
ball
They have to
game.
win tonight. You have to win tonight, but you can't count them out. They've been doing this all year. They wait till game 7 to light it up. So
True.
we'll see.
They are very, very scrappy. And it's been cool, though, to see the city kind of rally behind them. You know, I know there's a lot of bandwagon fans, but it is what it is. And one thing I think has been cool, though, is seeing people bring up a lot of memories of 2001, right, when they were at the World Series before. So a lot of people trying to flex, you know, that they've been a Diamondbacks fan for a while, but they still went away in the middle. You can't lie. You know what I'm saying? They went away for a little while, but they're back, and that's cool. And hopefully they can build on that. Pop says go Rangers go. Unk says Diamondbacks will win tonight. So we will see how that progresses. But I think before episode 219, before next Tuesday, we'll have a World Series winner. So we'll see who we're coming back to celebrate.
How y'all feel about the quick games though? They don't get a break.
I don't like it.
Me neither.
It's
too fast.
To me, yeah, I'm like,
fast,
you know, I get it because with the NBA, it's like you get that every other night, so they get more rest. But it at least makes it feel better. And in between games, it's like, oh, they really got to answer back. Like there's a little bit more strategy, right? Yeah. It's like you.
But maybe for them, they like it though. Maybe they like the rhythm, I guess. But I don't. To me, I'm looking at like, dang man, y'all play a lot of games throughout the season already. And then that World Series, y'all get no break in the World Series. They gotta keep going like that. It's like, dang.
Right. I don't know. It is weird though because normally, right, they try to end the World Series before October ends or right around this time, right? So, you know, if it was like a cold weather city, they might be dealing with snow and different things like that, or the cold weather.
Yeah.
But for these two teams, it don't really matter. I'm like, give us a little bit extra in the you know what I'm saying, in the schedule. We need that time in between.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna take a few more minutes and just talk real quick about the NBA news that came late last night, early this morning. James Harden finally getting his wish, right? Harden has an impeccable track record. When he's done with a team and he wants to trade, his attitude can get him out of town, eventually. So he got what he wanted. He's going to the Clippers. He's going to be joined by PJ Tucker, which is his buddy, right? This is their third team now that they're going to be road dogs on together. And then the Sixers got some picks, some first-round picks and some pick swaps, and also a couple players in return. I just want to get y'all's opinion real quick, just what y'all think about the Harden trade. Was there winners or was this just inevitable? Did it have to happen? What are y'all thoughts?
Oh, the Clippers won big time, and it got nothing to do with James Harden. So like Clippers won big time, got nothing to do with James Harden, right? So honestly, like you get a hold of James Harden, and he's a big trading piece, right? They can deal with him. If he does well, they can keep him. If he doesn't do well, doesn't like it, they can trade him off next year, right? But I think the biggest thing is like they got to keep Terrence Mann and they got to keep Powell. So like you get to keep two of your best players coming off the bench, right? And then you get James Harden too in return for it. And I just feel like Philly was basically just like, you know what, just get rid of him. Don't really care too much what we get back for him, but we need to get him out of here because he's a distraction to the team, right? But but aside from them being able to keep the Clippers being able to keep some really good players for their bench, I really feel like nobody really won this trade.
Yeah, I feel you. Marcus, what do you think?
I think Clippers won this trade. I think Sixers got worse. I think because I think those three players who they got, they're not gonna make them better. You know, they're not a number one or number two option. So I think you got garbage. But I think if the Clippers stay healthy, I think James Harden. I think it's gonna be the first time that he plays with a team that he don't have to be the number one guy. Like he don't distribute. I think he knows he's not his team. They say he's a fourth option. I put him at 3. I think he'll be a third option. I think Russ will be at the 4. But I think not having that pressure on him, we'll see how he plays. I think when he was with the Brooklyn, I think he had a little pressure on him to come in and play well because of how he got out of Houston. So I thought he had to come out with it. But I think this is the first time that he can kind of just come and ball and see what happens. But if they get hurt, then the pressure's on him to deliver. So if they stay healthy, I think he'll play well, and they'll do a little something. I put him in number 3 in the West now. I still think Denver and I still think the Suns are better than them. Yeah. But I think if they stay healthy, they can kind of give them a run for their money. But I still think they won't win a championship. But we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Yeah, I feel you. I still don't know if it's enough to get the Clippers over the top, but we'll see, right? Because a happy like honeymoon Harden is like a better player than the normal Harden, right? So if he stays happy and he's good, then maybe that'll work. But it's almost would have been better if this was like right at the trade deadline or after the All-Star break, so you just could have like those last 3 months of the season. You know what I'm saying? He might get tired of being the Clipper by the end of the season, right? But we'll see. But no, I do agree that the Clippers kept a lot of their pieces. They got PJ Tucker. They're gonna have like a lot more options, right? Because now they have more like a top 6 that they can really use. Like, so I think that that'll be pretty good for them. I kind of think that the Sixers lost this trade, except for, right, I don't know if addition by subtraction works, but I think that Maxey will now have room to grow, right? And that's where he was like on track to do before Harden came there. So maybe that will help. And then Pops does bring up a point. He says we get more picks than he is worth, and all players are on expiring contracts. I think that's the best thing about those veterans that they did get is it's like the long term after this year. You know what I'm saying? It just gives you way more flexibility. And I could see them next offseason like going and getting like trying to go get a big star again, right? To kind of put together again. But it's almost like a lateral step for them.
Yeah.
I could be.
Oh, go ahead, Marcus.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, real quick, like between the 3 players that Philly got, I really don't see any of them really getting any real time anyway. You know what I mean? Marcus Morris might get some time because of he can defend bigger guys and he kind of takes over the PJ role, but I don't really see the other 2 really getting any playing time.
Yeah, and I gotta ask Pops, was Covington there before? Right, he came. This is his time back to the Sixers. No.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I was gonna say, I like Maxey, and I could be wrong about this. And I'll come back on the show and say I was wrong about it. But I don't feel that Maxey can be a number 2 guy. I think he's a great number 3 guy. So I think that's why I said they lost the thing because Embiid now he got to put everything on his shoulders now. I don't think Maxey gonna be a number 2 guy. So
yeah,
Six is gonna be maybe an AC now. So I don't think they get that much better.
Yeah.
And you said that too. Like I feel like with Maxey, as long as they don't ask him to be the number 2 guy, right? I feel like as long as they just kind of let him play the way he plays, where he doesn't feel like that, kind of falls onto his shoulders, he can kind of just kind of score and do what he does. But I think you're right, though. I think like if they start asking him to kind of be James Harden, right, I think you'll see him kind of fall off a little bit.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see. I definitely think at the very least, they can figure out what his ceiling is or what closer to his potential really is.
Agreed.
And then the other question then too now is like, is Embiid going to be cool, or is he going to end up being unhappy in a few months or what? Like, we'll see. But maybe he likes the attention, so maybe that'll be all right. But I guess it just depends on how they play going forward. But yeah, we'll see. The Clippers-Lakers play tomorrow, but I doubt James Harden's going to be ready to play, but that would be kind of cool if they unveiled that lineup. You know what I'm saying? He might be like, he might just take the fat suit off. Like, you know what I'm saying? He might just unzip it right away. He might have been a game all along. Like, what happened?
I've been ready.
Yeah. He's like, I've been ready. I just didn't want to play for y'all. So we'll see. But, our crystal ball, we did our crystal ball last week and we hit on one already, Harden being traded. We didn't think it would happen this early, but we got one on our crystal ball. So we'll see what else happens on there. I think we're gonna just leave it right there for today, though. We touched on our big topics, and like we had talked about, just kind of this being a little bit of an express, so we can go out and continue our days. But definitely more things to talk about upcoming. Michigan, the whole Michigan scandal. Now they're saying like TCU knew that they had stolen their signs and they used dummy signs to kind of trick them in that playoff game. It's getting crazy the more that unravels, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in the future. Also, Thursday, we'll be back to make our money line picks for week 9 of the NFL. But yeah, all in all, good stuff going on. I was just trying to think if there was anything else we had said we were going to touch on real quick. But I think that's pretty much it. Marcus, you worried about the 49ers getting Chase Young, or what did you think about that trade?
No, I'm not worried about it. I don't think he's the same guy with the injury. I think he's gonna be decent. Of course you're gonna be better on a good team. So I think he can't get double like he was getting double. I think the D line from Washington was a decent D line too, and he didn't do too much. But I don't think he's gonna be the guy we thought he was gonna be. So yeah, I wasn't tripping on that. So
for sure. Oh, I did forget one other thing, and we'll talk about this next time. But the college football playoff official rankings come out tonight. We'll see where everybody lands. And then the other thing I was going to talk about, that this is messed up, but when Colorado played UCLA this weekend, I don't know if y'all saw, man, the locker room got robbed. And I just think, like, honestly, it's a locker room. It's supposed to be on lockdown. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be safe there, right?
Yep.
So I just want to, say that shouldn't happen.
That's fishy, man. That's fishy stuff, man.
I mean, and I get it. Like, people were coming out being like, oh, it's LA. And they were talking about, oh, those guys shouldn't be flaunting their wealth and they show up iced up to the games. No, you know what I'm saying? Those are kids and they're doing their thing. And with the NIL, there's a lot of college football players being iced up, right? So, like,
how did they get in there?
Exactly.
How you got in? How you got out? You should. If you got in, okay, we caught you in here. But how did you get in there and you got out? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like, I get LA is more active, right? But this ain't a convenience store. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the corner store. Your stuff should be safe in there. And I feel like UCLA's got to take the rap for that. They got to do something about it. So we'll see what comes out about that. But I just feel like I just wanted to say like that because I have seen people being like blaming them as victims, like, oh, they shouldn't flaunt their wealth and this is what they do and they shouldn't be doing that. They should have known better. Leave their stuff at home. No, man, you're coming to a locker room to play a game. That should be the last thing on your mind when you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to go on the field. Your stuff should be cool there. You know, you shouldn't have to leave security guards behind in the locker room and stuff like that. So I just want to say
it hurts even more when you lose a game and then you got jacked too. That's like, God dang.
I know, right? Twice. Like, dang. So, but I did want to touch on that one. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Hopefully we get some more resolution. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no cameras, there's nothing. Like, come on now.
Yep. So Coach Prime is actually asking for reimbursement for his kids. So hopefully it happens because it should.
Yeah, for sure. So, and Mom's asked the college football playing rankings. They come out tonight, so we'll see how those fall. We'll leave it right there. Again, I want to say happy Halloween. Everybody stay safe. You know what I'm saying? All treats, no tricks tonight. And we'll be back on Thursday to do our picks, and we'll be back next week for the big show as well. Appreciate y'all's loyalty. You're rocking with us, Mario. Welcome to the crew.
Yes, sir.
And we will see y'all soon. But on that note, it's your boy A-Dub.
And what's Shizzy?
Trick or treat, man. Let's go. Peace out. Be safe. Be safe.
Definitely.